Hello, my friends. Tywiggle here. Well, a new chapter started in our life. We just got real internet for the first time. We live out here in the middle of Central Virginia, and we've been on 2 meg DSL since for a decade or whatever. We finally got this Firefly. Got the high speed is 100 meg, so that's not fast. For some people, it's pretty fast for us. And now I'm going to start doing videos. I feel I have a lot to say, and not a lot of people to say it to. So I'm just going to share what I'm doing, where I'm at, what I think. I'm mostly going to focus on social commentary. So, what about me? If you don't already know me, I'm a homesteader. I'm self-employed, work here. I sell stuff online and on eBay. I have 3 teenagers, young adult in the house, my wife. We're right here on the homestead. I focus on low input living, low input homesteading, trying to be self-sufficient, and it's a different approach than probably a lot of homesteaders. I'm just trying to manage my inputs and do as much here as close to the land. So I feel that's an important part of knowing who I am. I choose to do it, and it's the hard way, but it's the right way, I feel. So I live it, I work it, and let's see what I have on the board here. Yeah, I'm a builder. I used to be a contractor years back, so I know how to do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff. I do carpentry, I work on mechanics, I try to do things non-conventionally, so I'm building like tiny homes and on trailers and stuff like that. I stay busy. So don't go to church anymore. So anyway, pardon me, I'm new at this. So the things I'm for in my walk through life, things I like to focus on. I'm definitely truther oriented. I like all the conspiracy theories and all that stuff. I like to investigate them and see where I end up, what side of those. Definitely spiritual. I am familiar with scripture. I studied it a lot and have a lot of my own takeaways. So I don't have a lot of commentary. Let me start this timer. I meant to do that so I didn't go long. All right, there we go. So I do come from a background of scripture. I don't go to any organized church though, so I'm pretty much in opposition to mainstream religions of all kinds. So if that offends you, this probably isn't the place for you. You're not going to care what I have to say, and you're going to get mad and leave anyway, so I'll just be up front. But I'm very much into a spiritual lifestyle based on understanding of scripture. But that leads me more along the lines of a natural law, not necessarily the indoctrination of religion. To me, all of the religions are not something I appreciate or want to partake of. I think they're control mechanisms. And I think the roots of most of that stuff is probably not where most people would hope they're from. But that's a whole long discussion. And along the lines of religion, I think there's many kinds of religion. And a lot of the things that I will be discussing that I'm opposed to, some really like sacred cow type stuff, money, currency. I feel that's probably the largest religion on earth. People believe in that. They live and die and serve it. And it's failing us as we see. Inflation is just stealing our wealth. It's the people that issue the currency have all the power, and we're giving it to them. Anyway, that is a whole long discussion. It's just money to me is a religion. Politics is a religion, and it's a divisive type thing. It gets people arguing, bickering over these one issue things, and I don't care who you vote for. It doesn't matter. It's a selection process, and if your vote counted, you wouldn't get to vote. So there's those that believe in contact a representative and all that, and it's certainly not me. I don't vote. If that offends you, I'm sorry. I just don't vote, and I'm not going to. Along those lines, I don't believe that government is ever for the good. I think self-governing is the way that we should do it, with a set of guidelines, parameters offered in the scriptures, really. So self-governing. Don't hurt the tenets of anarchy. Don't use force. Don't do no harm to others. Don't use force. So, and just kind of let people do what they want, as long as they're not hurting anybody else, as long as it's all voluntary. There's no harm in that. There's no harm being done to other humans. So, I am an anarchist, and yes, I'm against indoctrination of all kinds. I feel that the mainstream education, science, all of that. Speaking of religion, I believe that the science as we have it, if it's trust the science, that's not science, that's religion. You don't trust the science, you question the science. Use a scientific method on real science, and you use it as theories. You don't present facts, you present theories, and you prove them, and you push up against them, rub against them, and let the truth and the facts stand. And it's not have to fight to defend your position. Truth stands on its own. So real science stands on its own. You don't have to rapidly defend it, shove it down people's throat. That's not real science. That's just more religion. And everybody has religion of some sort. I mean, just a matter of whatever it is. They might believe in the oak tree or the grasshopper or the sun, whatever their thing is. Everybody has something. Other people, they just whatever. We all have our religion. I try to limit mine. I'm definitely not involved with the mainstream, any of them. I think those are all the wide paths, and not as loving and accepting and as doing the good work as much as everybody likes to say they are. So to me, if you're just a kind human being and you don't want to hurt people and you're taking responsibility for yourself and doing the work of being the good part of creation, but we're walking in the light, that's how I like to consider myself, and that's who I'm seeking, is people that are not just talking. Seeking truth is great, but what are you doing when you have it? When you find the truth, are you walking it, are you living it, or are you just sitting around talking about it? Talk is cheap. Walk it. What does it look like when you live your truth? What is your truth led you to do, to be? You know, if you're not actively walking that out, I just wonder how much truth you really have. It's just sitting around talking about the next greatest thing. It's, what good is it? What good is it? We have to represent the truth. We have to represent the light in this realm. We have to be the good side of creation. We have to use our free will to do what is right. And you know, if you're good, really good, excellent person, you're trying to make the world a better place. You're using your light and trying to help others and trying to do good and fight back the darkness. There's a lot of darkness these days, so I think you fight darkness by truth and love, and it'll push back against that. We need more of it. I find that I don't have a lot of people to talk to, so I'm just putting all this out there so I can have a discussion with others like me. I really am seeking my tribe in all of this. I'm not doing this for attention. I'm not doing this to convince anybody of anything. I really would rather people already be where they're at, and we can have a discussion there and see. I haven't particularly arrived in everything. I'm always changing, growing, adapting new ideas, refining ideas. And, always, I'm willing to question everything and not hold anything as sacred, because the truth can be questioned. If you can't question it, it's not truth. It's something else. If you're not allowed to ask questions and push on it, if you had to fight for your truth, how true is it? So let's just find that which is good and that stands on its own, in its own strength, and we can just align with that. So, self-responsibility. Yes, a lot of what I do is real on-the-ground solutions, trying to figure out, here's my truth, what am I doing about it? How am I living it out? How am I helping to make the world a better place? How am I teaching my kids, or how am I teaching other people? Because life is short and we do need to make an impact. And it is our job to be here present in this realm and to do good things. Not to sit around and wait for somebody else to come and do it. That's just a way to get your dominion robbed out from under your feet. A lot of people just stand there looking at the sky waiting for redemption, and I'm not even sure I really understand scripture that well, to be waiting on a rapture or other things like that. Just, we're here to represent the Creator, our Father, and we're to be His sons and daughters, and we're to do right by Him in His ways. It's pretty simple, but it's not so simple, because there's a lot that gets in the way of that. A lot of deception and control. So in that, I am opposed to the status quo. If most people are doing it, most people believe it, I question how valid it really is. So I think the truth is more in the outlying, the fringes, crazy people, so to speak. The truth is in conspiracy theorists and the other people that are just so far out that everybody else thinks they're crazy. Those people are probably closer to the truth. You're in a room and the one crazy guy in the corner yelling, whatever, he might be the only sane one in the room. Everybody else is. So anyway, status quo is certainly not for me. I definitely want to push against it in all ways and just see how it shakes out. If it's right, then it'll be right. And if it's not right, then let's just know and move on. So, status quo. Solutions. Intentional community. I have a lot to say on that. But more from a natural law, conservative, quote unquote, conservative perspective. A lot of the collectivism, I don't really believe will work. I believe that you have to have a different type of structure, because collectivism is like a race to the bottom. It's the low factoring in the lowest common factor, and then everybody meets that. I don't know how effective that is. But I do believe we definitely need intentional community. It's more village, homestead, village, neighborhood type. And living close to the land, low input, sharing with each other, helping each other, caring for each other, watching each other's back. That's the ultimate goal, and that's a far off goal. I realize that. First of all, we have to kind of agree on a goal or the journey we're on. Are we going in the same direction? So I really seek my tribe. I want people like me, but not exactly like me. I just want decent human beings, decent folks that we can work together, cooperate. And I don't know what that looks like, but I definitely want the right kind of people in my life. Right now, it's a lonely endeavor to homestead and off-grid and all that kind of thing. Need to be around other people that are just there with you. They want to do it, not because you talk to them, because they've already figured that out. So, if you've kind of figured some of this stuff out, I'd love to talk to you. And if you're trying to grow and change, I'll be happy to share what I have to say. I'm open to questions. I'm open to anything I present. You can push back against it. I don't claim to have it all figured out. I'm not expert in anything, but I do have reasons for what I do. But besides that ultimate goal of finding my tribe and cooperating with them in a meaningful way, like close, nearby, geographic proximity. Before that, I just want to continue to grow wisdom and grow in knowledge and apply that. And I see that as walking in wisdom, walking in truth. So, the rules, the discussion, I want to have a discussion, kick around ideas. I like questions. And I like answers from other people. I want to hear what you have to say. I can consider it. I think just temporarily suspend your belief to hear someone else's perspective and consider it, I think is an important part of growing. It's like you just don't just shut them down. Just hear what they have to say. You don't talk past each other, but kind of get the gist, because a lot of times words are the hang up. Let's get to the ideas and see, well, what is it they're saying? What is it that, are we talking past each other? Or are we really getting the understanding here? And maybe we're not as far off as it might seem. So, but that's a hard thing. To me, that's a mature discussion, and that's hard to find. A lot of people just mad at each other, and divided, and that's not doing any good. Not for us. We need to figure out how to come together where it matters and not be apart. So, I would just ask in the comments, be kind, be decent, and not necessarily, you're not going to offend me. But it's more like, if there's kids reading, my kids were reading reading the comments, I don't want to be like, let's just keep it decent. Let's keep it PG, let's just not be hateful. We can disagree, and that's fine. But let's try to keep a handle on the hate and the division. There's enough of that. So, if you got the truth, then what are you worried about? So, I guess that kind of wraps it up for now. So, and I do have a lot to say, I really do, and I think some of it might be interesting. If some of these ideas are interesting to you, you might want to stay tuned. Join in on the conversation, I'm in Central Virginia. If you're ever passing through and you want to meet and we can talk, that's great, let's do it. I am available for the right kind of folks. So, not expecting anything. I'm just hoping to really have a closer circle of friends and people that we can have some similar goals and thoughts, and we can not be so hateful and divided, but more like growing, helping each other grow. So I guess I covered most of that. So my timer's getting ready to go off. Man, I can talk 15 minutes out of you. Back to my well, I appreciate it. So I guess the takeaway is just please walk in the light. Fight back against the darkness. Do what's right. Be kind to other people. I'm going to pause this thing. And do the work that matters here. Take some responsibility. Take some stewardship and dominion of this realm. And fight the good fight. I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to express our free will in a way that would be pleasing to a higher power, the Creator, a Father. I call him my Father. And why are we here? What talents did he give us? What positions where are we at in our lives? What did he give us as people? What are our talents and passions, and what are we doing with them? Are we just sitting around, or are we doing something that matters? Something that'll echo through time, echo through our generations, make the world a better place. Something unique and powerful. We're all capable of that, but a lot of us just don't want to do that work. So this video is me trying to do that work in whatever way I can. So at any rate, stay tuned. I appreciate you watching. This is Wiggle Out. How do I end this thing?